Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. With the name of Allah, who is most merciful and beneficent. My name is Muhammad Waqas Islam from Mechanical Session 18 and registration number of 2018 ME1 Drive. Today, I got the opportunity to talk about on the topic of plasma arc machining. Without wasting any time, let's move on to the topic. Plasma arc machining. It is a non-conventional machining process. This term non-conventional machining refers to the group of the techniques that removes excessive materials by various techniques like mechanical, thermal, electrical or chemical or maybe combination of these energies. Unlike conventional machining, they do not use a sharp cutting tool in the process. It is a material removal process. The plasma arc machining process was introduced to the industry in 1964. It uses a velocity jet of high temperature gas to melt and remove the material from the workpiece. Due to its high control and accuracy, it has advantage over many other machines. Plasma arc machine has four main parts. First one is plasma torch, second one is the power supply and cooling mechanism, and last one is the workpiece. So we will look one by one to the detail of these parts. As we are discussing about the plasma arc machining, we have to know how the production of how the generation of the plasma is happened in this process. We know that for the generation of plasma we need high enough energy. So this high enough energy can be brought by an electric arc that can be produced by a plasma torch. The construction of the plasma torch is such that it can provide an electric arc between an electrode and the workpiece. We insert some gases that can be ionized, like nitrogen, argon, hydrogen, or mixture of these gases. The plasma arc ionizes these gases and produces the high temperature plasma state uh, in this process. A typical plasma torch consists of an electrode holder and an electrode, a device to sphere the gas, and the water cooled nozzle. The geometry of the torch nozzle is such that the hot gases are confined in the narrow column. The advantage of this constriction of the hot gases to confined column is that it can increase the intensity of the plasma state, which is beneficial for us. This is the simple configuration of a plasma torch. We can see here an electrode used here is a tungsten electrode, and the swirling action is there. Plasma gas flows in a swirl pattern around the electrode through the nozzle orifice. It ensures the proper arc attachment point. We have a primary gas and a secondary gas. There is outer shell, and the intensity of the plasma beam can be increased by a constricted straight motion of the plasma. The second part of the plasma arc machining is the DC power supply. We know that a tungsten electrode is inserted in the plasma torch. So to create the plasma arc, we need a high enough pressure difference. How this pressure difference is created? We will attach the negative terminal of this power supply to the electrode in the plasma torch, and the positive terminal of the DC supply to our workpiece. In this manner, we can generate a pressure difference, and an arc can be produced between the electrode and the workpiece. The third one is the cooling mechanism. We can also say that the cooling mechanism is a secondary gases, because we know that as the hot gases continuously come out of the nozzle, there is always strong chances of overheating there. So we can use a water jacket or any other cooling gas to surround the nozzle to avoid the overheating. The plasma arc machining can be used for different materials like aluminum, magnesium, stainless steel, and carbon and alloys. In this figure, all parts of the plasma arc machine is shown. There is an electrode, then there is a cooling water that is used to avoid the overheating, and a plasma gas known as primary gas for the creation of plasma, and a power supply, DC power supply, which is necessary for the production of the plasma arc. As far as the working principle of the plasma arc machining is concerned, it uses the plasma state of the gases to melt the workpiece. In this process, gases are so much heated by the plasma arc so that these gases converted in the ionized state called plasma state. As the plasma state have very high temperature, this temperature is enough for every metal to be cut or separated from the workpiece. Moreover, the plasma arc machine works on the computer numerical controlled sy- system. A computer numerical control system is a manufacturing process in which we designed a software, and we dictate the movement of factory tools and machinery by this software. The process can be used to control. This process can be used to control a range of complex machinery. Numerical control machine possesses a piece of material to meet this specification by following a code programmed by a software, and without a manual operator directly, a person can control the whole machine and all its parts by a machining operation through a CNC program. Now we will look how the whole process is proceed. We have a DC supply. What we did, we connect the negative terminal of the supply to the electrode in the plasma torch, and the positive terminal of the DC power supply to the workpiece to make it anode. Thus, by doing this, we applying a potential difference to create a plasma arc between the electrode and the workpiece. This plasma arc actually ionizes the gas that we injected in between the electrode and the workpiece. So this ionization this ionization caused the generation of the plasma. The plasma is highly energetic and of high temperature. This plasma state melts the metal and discharges it through a pipe-shaped curve. Curve is a pipe-shaped tube which is used to separate the molten metal that we have to remove from workpiece. While performing functions on the plasma arc machining, we must aware of the following parameters. Number one, there must be high enough voltage across the electrode and the workpiece to generate the electric arc. The gas used for the production of plasma state has very significance. The gases mostly used are the nitrogen, argon, hydrogen, or the mixture of these gases. The number three is there should be some specific stand of distance. It should neither be too large or not too small. The stand of distance is the distance from the electrode to the point on the workpiece where we need to remove the excessive material. Uh, from this diagram, we can understand how the process goes on. The pressure difference is applied to the tungsten electrode and the workpiece. Then the primary gases are injected and the arc is produced to create the plasma. The plasma is constricted the strain motion, and separates the excessive material that we need to remove from the metal workpiece. There is a pipe shaped curve down the workpiece that is used to carry the molten metal removed from the workpiece without causing any damage. By this plasma arc machining, we can machine all metals and also the alloys. Unlike the oxy-fuel process, the plasma process can be applied to cutting metals which form refractory oxides like stainless steel, aluminium, cast iron, and the non-ferrous alloys. There are four major types of the plasma arc cutting: conventional plasma arc cutting, air plasma arc cutting, dual flow plasma arc cutting, and underwater plasma arc cutting. We will look all these four types one by one. In conventional plasma arc cutting, arc is constricted by a nozzle only, and there is no use of shielding gas. Cutting gas that is used is tangentially injected to the electrode. The swirling action of the gases cause the cooler portion of the gas to move radially outward from the protective boundary layer on the inside of the nozzle bore. That by doing this we can prevent to damage the nozzle and extend its life. In plasma air cutting, it was introduced in earlier 1960s for cutting mild steel. Oxygen in the air provides additional energy from the exothermic reaction with molten steel, and that will boost cutting speed about 25%. This process can also be used to cut the stainless steel and aluminum. The cut surface will be heavily oxidized due to the oxygen and air oxygen, and thus can be unacceptable for some applications. When we talk about the dual flow plasma arc cutting, it is a slight modification in the conventional plasma arc cutting. Secondary shield gas is the shielding gas around the nozzle. The cutting gas is usually nitrogen. The shielding gas we have used is selected according to the metal to be cut. Cutting speeds are slightly better than those of the conventional plasma arc machining on the mild steel. But when the cut quickly is not acceptable for some applications, cutting speed and the quality on the stainless steel and aluminiums are essentially the same as with the conventional plasma arc cutting. In underwater plasma cutting, it is suitable to the numerical control shape cutting and produces the intensity of the noise level of 85 decibel or less under normal operating conditions. In comparison, conventional plasma cutting typically produces noise level in the range of 105 to 115 decibel. Underwater cutting also nearly eliminates the ultraviolet radiation and fumes. This is the positive aspect of this underwater plasma cutting. Steel plate being cut is supported on the cutting table with the top surface of the plate 2 to 3 inches under the water. That is why it is underwater plasma. As far as the application of plasma arc machining is concerned, this is chiefly used to cut the stainless steel and the aluminium alloys. This can be used in tube mill applications, welding of cryogenic, aerospace, and high temperature corrosion resistant alloys. Nuclear and submarine pipe system can also be prepared by the plasma arc machine. Welding steel rocket motor case is also the application of the plasma arc machining. It can also use to weld the stainless steel tubes. Welding it can weld the titanium plates up to the 8 millimeter thickness. Above all these applications, there are a huge circle of the application of the plasma arc machining. Here are some advantages of the plasma arc machinings are listed. The first one, in plasma arc machining, the hard as well as brittle metal can be easily machined. It can be applied to almost all types of metals. The best part of this process is that we get the high cutting rate. That is the big advantage of the plasma arc machining. We get a better dimensional accuracy in case of machining small cavities by confining or constricting the motion of the hot gases. The last advantage listed here is it is a simple process to carry out and a very efficient process. How it is efficient? It is efficient through this computer numerical control system we have discussed before. As far as the disadvantages or limitations of plasma arc machinings are listed here, it is expensive equipment process. It consumes big amount of inert gases. It produces only narrower shapes, and last one is the metallurgical changes on the surface. Here is some point that I have concluded from this presentation that in this latest field of the technology, while we are performing welding and machining, plasma arc welding and machining have a huge success over all other processes. Due to its improved weld quality and increased accuracy and weld output, it has been used for precision welding for surgical instrument to automatic repair of the jet engine blades. But due to its high equipment expense and high production of ozone, it's been outnumbered by other advanced welding equipment like laser beam welding and electron beam welding. To overcome the mentioned problem, it is been expected that soon it will be fetched with its minimum currents. These are some sites I have used to prepare and accumulate the data for my presentation. So you can visit this and check the data I have assimilated in my presentation.